Now at 10, hotels throughout Carthage are booked up as the city gets ready for Marion Days next week. Plus, Route 66 Heritage Festival kicks off in downtown Miami. We'll tell you what it has to offer. And Webb City Little League Baseball prepares for the Midwest Regionals. We'll hear from the team.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
At least one firefighter is down due to the heat as crews battled a fire at the Allen County, Kansas landfill that's southeast of La Harpe. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Allen County Sheriff Brian Murphy tells us crews were there from multiple fire departments, including La Harpe and Iola. The fire was extinguished shortly before 4:30 this afternoon. Officials on the scene said they were unsure of just what caused that fire. A Southwest Missouri man is behind bars accused of attempting to kidnap a woman. Authorities have arrested 34-year-old Aaron Michael Fryer from Pierce City. He's now charged with second-degree assault, third-degree kidnapping, and second-degree endangering the welfare of a child. The 18-year-old victim in this case told officers that while she was at work in Monette, a man in a vehicle with a small child in it attempted to kidnap her. The woman says she fled to safety and immediately called police. Boy, it's been hot out there, and it's going to stay that way for a while. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be on the hot side out there, and why did that freeze up on me? So let's see if we can recycle this.
Irony.
I know. It's the heat. Come on. Open up. All right, there we go. But yeah, all the way up to 99 for us today. So a hot one, average high is 91 degrees. Excessive heat warnings and the magenta heat advisories along and south of I-44. We've actually had a few little tiny thunderstorms that have popped up, very small, but you can see some lightning just to the north of Lamar. One little guy right on the north side of Pittsburgh, one little guy in Cherokee County, and then a couple more spread out just north of Mount Vernon. So some hit and miss little storms, better than nothing, but all the heavier rain is staying to our north. Now, heat sticks around for the weekend. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
And the heat causes the graphics to freeze. Go figure. Beating the heat's going to be tough for much of the 4 states, but the splash pad in Sensory Park today in Fort Scott had its grand opening to hopefully help deal with that. KOAM's Elise Noe paid a visit and has more.
2, 1, hit the button, guys!
Kids in Fort Scott had some fun in the sun while attending the grand opening of the splash pad and Sensory Park.
It's really fun. The favorite thing my favorite thing is being with everyone and seeing everyone have a good time.
The community of Fort Scott came together to bring this park to life. With vendors, food trucks, and volunteers, the park was able to open thanks to volunteers raising $310,000.
We wrote and got some really large grants awarded, and then we had just a snowfall of support from the community, businesses, organizations, individuals.
The park was filled with kids jumping for joy, cooling off in the summer heat, and having a good time in their community. But for kids like TJ Lee, this park is more than a way to cool off in the summer.
We've been waiting for this for a long time. When he went in, he's going into 8th grade now, and when he was going into 2nd, they had started trying to get a park like this started.
The wait was most definitely worth it.
Boom, I am ready for this fun.
The importance of sensory parks and accessibility parks are truly something important to the committee and the community of Fort Scott.
Those beautiful children who now have a place, I'm not supposed to, now have a place to come and feel included and be a participant and be able to have fun and enjoy life the way every single kid should.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Elise Noe, KOAM News.
Kids were given free snow cones and were able to play all evening in that new inclusive park. How much fun. Carthage, Missouri hotels are pretty much booked up already for Marion Days, with the event expecting up to 70,000 people. Hotel managers say there are only a few rooms available, and they expect to be sold out by the beginning of that Vietnamese American Roman Catholic celebration. Some hotels are even going through remodeling to host visitors who come from all over the country, some from outside the country. The first hotel guests are expected to arrive next Tuesday and Wednesday. By the weekend, the hotel should be filled up.
It's too much work because of the some room has not been rented for a while, so we have to deep cleaning the rooms and all.
So during the daytime, they're going to be coming here to take showers and getting food and things like that. So it's just going to be constant traffic.
Last year, in the first edition of Marian Days after the pandemic, about 40,000 people showed up. Around the event area, tents are already going up. Marian Days is held on the grounds of the Congregation of the Mother Co-Redemptrix and kicks off next Thursday. The Route 66 Heritage Festival kicked off today in Miami, Oklahoma. The festival celebrates the heritage of the area, of course. Some of today's festivities included live music, lots and lots of that, also food trucks and games. Organizers say it's a great way to get people out to have some fun while also learning about some of the local musicians.
We have so many good people from Miami that are in the music business that we wanted to recognize, and there's a lot of people from Miami who've been successful, and we're trying to let the young kids know that you can come from Miami and be anywhere. You can make it to the biggest place, like Steve Gaines made it with the Leonard Skinner Band from here. Steve Owens won the Heisman Trophy from here. So.
The fun resumes tomorrow at 7 a.m. with the Willie Run. Then later there'll be a car and bike show, more games and barbecue competition, and of course lots more music among other activities. Coming up, we're going to learn how student volunteers showed up from all over to help beautify a southeast Kansas town. Plus, some local kids walked the stage to transition into the next part of their school careers. Today concludes the week-long summer camp hosted by Parsons Paint Project. During the night, the students slept in Parsons High School, but by day they were painting smiles all over the community. KOAM's Jasmine Knight has the story.
This is the 6th year of the Parsons Paint Project. Church youth groups from all across the country come to revitalize Parsons, Kansas. Their main goal is to paint houses and build wheelchair-accessible ramps for the low-income, elderly, or disabled.
There are some good people wanting to help other people. I think that was the biggest eye-opener for even the community, is to see we have 15, 14-year-olders willing to come and paint someone else's house they don't know.
Not only do they come to paint, but the kids also strive to build a relationship with the resident. Some campers invite the resident to devotional or sit and eat lunch with them.
He joined us for devotions, and he's pretty cool.
The campers also learn great life lessons while they're there.
Read devotions more and more and more, and then talk about Jesus and what he's done for us.
Mine is to have a closer relationship with God while doing this, and just getting more into it than I have been.
To always be open to help people if they can't do it themselves.
My favorite part about painting all these houses is getting to help people in need that can't do this work.
I've seen them really start to piece together a lot of things within their own life, just going through this devotion.
And for the residents, it means the world.
It means a lot. I don't have the money to fix my house up or anything, and now that I'm disabled, I can't work to get money to do it, so it means a lot, and it'd be a big help.
So far, this project has left Candace and other homeowners very satisfied. Reporting in Parsons, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
Parsons Paint Project revived 19 houses in a week. Freeman Health System held their second graduation for their Learning Center. The 10 students are in this year's graduating class. The Learning Center was built to care for Freeman and Ozark Center employees' children from infants to 5 years old during the weekday. Freeman officials say the Learning Center is the first stepping stone to the rest of their lives. A little bit later, the extreme heat proves challenging all across our nation. How some Southwest Missouri summer athletic training camps are keeping the athletes safe in the heat.
Plus, the heat sticks around, but we do have a few chances for rain. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, today, not a bad one, but it was a very hot day. But overall, at least we got a little bit of wind out there. So, yeah, it was blazing hot, but I guess it could always be hotter. Outside right now, here's a nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo is just outside. of Seneca, Missouri. All right, heat advisories in effect tomorrow. Excessive heat warnings in the magenta color. This goes into tomorrow evening. Look at our temps now. We're still sitting into the upper 80s across the region. It looks pretty good. Here's 7th and Rangeline. Somebody got in trouble there. 88 feels like 90 degrees across the region. But look at this. We've had some scattered thunderstorms pop up, which is nice. I mean, they're very small, but look at these clusters that we have, especially in southwestern Missouri. We do have a little cluster from Girard, right on the northeast side of Pittsburgh, over toward Mendabines, and then just south of Lamar. Look at this, bigger cluster. So here's I-49, just north of Lamar, but quite a bit of lightning in that cell. We can go a little farther south. We have a cluster really from Sarcoxie over toward Mount Vernon. We even have one little guy that's popping up right in Joplin, a couple little guys near Oronogo, and then one little thunderstorm very close to Scammon and Weir. So at least we're getting some scattered thunderstorms, not a ton of rain, but something. The bigger storms are going to stay out to the north and the west, at least for the overnight hours for us tonight. We have this big dome of high pressure. This has been giving us the heat. In fact, this is going to move a little bit closer to us as we go through the next couple days, keeping the heat around. But at least around the area of high pressure, we get some little waves, so at least some chances for a few showers. Really kind of sits on us through the middle of next week and then retrogrades back to the west. That will allow at least some cooler temperatures to work in and better chances for widespread rain once that area of high pressure breaks down. All right, scattered thunderstorms, Missouri tonight. We start the day okay. We warm up, lower 90s by noon. And then I do think late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we're going to get some additional scattered thunderstorms, especially in our northern counties and then trying to work off toward the south. But you can see these clusters, 7, 8 p.m., scattered thunderstorms, even a few leftover showers on Sunday morning. Not widespread, but at least something out there. As we go into Sunday afternoon, still a few scattered thunderstorms. High temperatures are going to be right around 100 degrees. Heat indices up there tomorrow about 104, 105, and then again on Sunday about 104 or 105. So make sure if you are going to be outside, drink plenty of fluids. But at least we got some thunderstorm chances. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, and then again Sunday afternoon, heat indices 105, and drink that water. All right, alert day tomorrow due to the excessive heat warning, 100 on Sunday, 102 Monday, 103 Tuesday, 104 on Wednesday, so getting even hotter next week.
Not that it could get much hotter, but yeah, it's still creeping up there. Thanks, Doug. Well, these extremely hot temperatures aren't keeping high school athletes away from their summer training, but they do call for extra safety precautions. Reporter Liam Garrity has more about how high school football camps help players get through this intense heat.
Serious heat illness can not just impact their season, but can impact them for the rest of their life.
Get them conditioned and whatnot early, trying to get them acclimated.
Cool water on hot days like today is an absolute must for high school athletes.
About every 25 minutes, give them about a 5-minute water break so they rehydrate.
Having someone become ill or injured because of the heat is really preventable and bad for football.
In addition to mandatory water breaks, high school head coaches tell me they have fans, misters, and tents for players because they need them in peak condition for the upcoming season.
We want to make sure they know that we take our player safety way more seriously than them getting one more rep.
Coaches say they get their players out early in the mornings to stay cooler and gradually condition them to get used to the heat.
Good job, Harrison!
And tell parents their kids' safety is of the utmost importance.
We take care of them, we prioritize that. We have one of the best trainers in America.
I tell them to be smart, not to be a hero, right? When they're tired, they need to come out. They need to protect themselves.
Brock here now. It's not just high school. We're only a month away from the college football season.
Oh, yes, we are. The Missouri Southern Lions and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas only have a month to prepare for their Week 1 opponents on August 31st. Plus, the Webb City Little League baseball team is back again. They prepare for the Midwest Regionals. We'll have the story next in sports. We are officially 5 weeks away from kickoff to the MIAA season. Now, Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State coaches had a lot to say on what they expect from their teams when they spoke to us at MIAA Media Days earlier this week.
2022 had a lot of close losses, and I'm excited to see if we've made the jump that we need to so that those close losses turn into close wins and we can flip this thing around.
The Missouri Southern Lions are 8-15 overall since Atiba Bradley took over the program as head coach in 2021. The Lions are scheduled to open their season at home on August 31st, going against one of the top teams in the MIAA, the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats.
I think it's a big-time matchup because it's an opportunity to play football. There's no taking away the accolades and the credit that they get. They're in a great program, but we know that if we win that game, there's still a lot of season left. If we lose that game, there's still a lot of season left. And so our guys aren't necessarily focused to play one opponent, but just excited for the opportunity to compete.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas kick off their season the same night as Missouri Southern. The Gorillas will be at home hosting the Washburn Ichabods as Pitt State head coach Brian Wright enters his 4th season. He's delighted with the group that the Gorillas will be bringing back this fall.
You're certainly going to try to build off our strengths, and for us on offense, like Trey said, it really starts up front for us, and we're excited about the group that's back. I'm excited about the motivation that they have and the improvement that they would like to make in that group, but I thought those guys had an outstanding spring practice period, and I know our strength coach, Matt Summers, speaks so highly of how those guys are working in the weight room this summer, so that excites me.
And both Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State are preparing for their fall football practices as we approach just over a month before the MIAA college football season kicks off. The Webb City 12 and under baseball team are Missouri State champions once again. A week from today, they will be playing in Indianapolis for their first game in the Midwest Regionals with a chance to go to the Little League World Series. Webb City enters the Midwest Regionals winning the Missouri State Championship last weekend. Well, this week, Webb City gets the week off to practice as they prepare to face Wisconsin next Friday. If Webb City is able to win this tournament, they will advance to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, representing the Midwest. This would be the first team out of Webb City to do so since 2015.
You kind of just show up and you play. You got to tell the kids, hey, people are going to win. The guys that throw strikes get their routine outs and put the ball in play and strike out less. It's one of those things where you don't get to experience it, the rest of your life unless you're 12 years old. So it'd be a really great accomplishment for these kids.
It's been really fun. The games are a lot of fun, especially when we're down and we have to come back. I think it's going to be a really fun experience. I know some people have told us about it, Cam and Brody. They said it's really fun. I just want to play.
The MLB trade deadline looms August 1st as it is approaching fast. Fans from both the Royals and the Cardinals can see some of their favorite players maybe be traded to other teams in the next coming days. The Cardinals began Game 1 of a long homestand last night in a 10-3 loss to the Chicago Cubs. Tonight, St. Louis got off to a 2-0 lead but fall to the Cubs once again, losing the game 3-2. The Royals at home tonight going against the Twins, and this could possibly maybe be the final homestand for players like Salvador Perez or Zach Greinke. We shall see. Royals led 4-2 in the 9th inning, but Minnesota hit a 2-run double to tie the game to send it to extras, and we're currently in extra innings as Minnesota leads Kansas City 5-4. Well, if you haven't noticed, a familiar face is joining the Big 12 Conference once again. On Thursday night, the University of Colorado's Board of Regents unanimously approved the resolution of allowing the University of Colorado to join the Big 12 Conference in the beginning of the 2024 academic year. Colorado left the conference to join the Pac-12 in 2011. So with that being said, welcome back, Buffaloes.
Yeah, Neon Dion injecting a little bit of life into that team. You bet. We'll be right back. Police in California were faced with dozens of escaped goats. This video posted by the Pinole Police Department shows the officers awaiting the arrival of a goat herder, calling all goat herders as the escaped animals grazed on nearby lawns. My goodness, police did not specify how the goats escaped or how long it took to contain them. Sadly, none of those goats were named Patrick Mahomes, greatest of all time. None of them named Doug Heddy either, I hear.
Darn. I think it's funny. The police are just standing there like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you take some video and make it go viral and wait for the goat herder. The weather.
All right, we got some scattered thunderstorms out there right now for the next few hours, especially on the Missouri side. But don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of thunder, see a little bit of lightning. 100 tomorrow, 100 Sunday, isolated storms.
I'll be very surprised if you see snow. Final sports note.
Yeah, it's hard enough as us as adults to go on camera, but especially for 12-year-old baseball players, especially the Webb State Little Leaguers, they have a chance to be on ESPN this weekend.
Isn't that exciting? Hey, some folks call him Zach. Most of us call him Dobbs. If you're really formal, you might call him KOAM 6 and 10 producer Zach Dobbs. Can you turn around and wave to us?
There he is.
He's one of the few guys who can actually pull off a T-shirt and a tie. That's pretty dapper. Way to go, Dobbs. Yeah, we're sorry to say that Dobbs is going to be leaving us, but it's good for him because he's pursuing a new opportunity with the Webb City School District. Speaking of those little leaguers doing those ball players, he's meant a lot to us. We're going to miss you, Dobbs. We wish you well. We know that you're going to do well. Thanks for joining us. Let's have another final look at Dobbs and company as we say goodbye, and let's make it a great weekend.